Not all isekai are built the same. Sure, they all start with someone getting transported to another world, but what happens next? That's where things get interesting. From dark power plays to straight-up chaos, these 5 anime show just how different one genre can be. I'm Otaku Quickshot. Let's dive in.
On the surface, he's just another background character, but in the shadows, he's orchestrating an entire underground war. The Eminence in Shadow flips the power fantasy isekai trope on its head. Instead of striving to be a hero or a ruler, our main character, Sid, dreams of becoming a shadowy mastermind, someone who operates behind the scenes, pulling strings and taking down evil organizations. Here's the twist. Sid thinks he's just playing pretend. But the evil cult he made up, it's actually real. The secret war he believes is all just part of the act, it's very much happening, and somehow everything he improvises ends up being accidentally true. This show is equal parts satire, power fantasy, and over-the-top action. It juggles absurd humor with jaw-dropping fight scenes and a surprisingly deep world that gets more interesting the further you go. If you like clever twists, deadpan comedy, and main characters who are OP in the most ridiculous way possible, The Eminence in Shadow is your kind of chaos. What happens when the hero is actually the final boss? Overlord throws you into a world where the player doesn't just get isekai'd into the game, he becomes the most powerful being in it. When the servers of a beloved MMO shut down, one player, Momonga, chooses to stay logged in until the very end. But when the clock hits 0, he doesn't get logged out. Now stuck inside the game as his in-game avatar, an all-powerful skeletal overlord, Momonga sets out to uncover what's going on. But unlike your typical hero, he leans into the role of ruler. With an army of loyal NPCs now fully sentient and devoted to him, he's not saving the world, he's planning how to conquer it. What makes Overlord stand out is its unique perspective. You're not following the chosen hero, you're watching the rise of an overwhelming, morally gray force. It blends dark fantasy with strategic world-building, layered characters, and moments of brutal intensity. If you've ever wondered what would happen if the villain won from the start, Overlord gives you that story, and it doesn't hold back. Death by stabbing wasn't exactly on his to-do list, but reincarnation as a slime? Now that's a twist. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime takes the classic isekai formula and flips it on its head with charm, world building, and a surprisingly wholesome energy. Our protagonist, Satoru Mikami, dies in modern-day Japan and is reborn in a fantasy world, not as a hero, but as a literal ball of goo. And yet, somehow, he becomes one of the most powerful beings in the entire realm. As Rimuru, he absorbs skills, forms alliances, builds a nation, and unites various races under a banner of peace and progress. While the series delivers on flashy battles and powerful transformations, it also dives into diplomacy, economics, and leadership. It's part adventure, part kingdom sim, all wrapped up in a surprisingly heartwarming package. Where Overlord leans dark and domineering, Slime is bright, community-focused, and optimistic. It proves that even in the world of isekai, power doesn't always corrupt. Sometimes it just builds a better future. They woke up in a world they didn't recognize, with no memories of their past, only the will to survive. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash is a somber, grounded take on the isekai genre. Unlike most series where the protagonist quickly becomes overpowered, Grimgar places its characters at the very bottom. They're confused, fragile, and forced to fight for every scrap just to survive another day. The story follows a group of strangers who awaken in a mysterious fantasy world. With no memories of Earth, they band together to join a volunteer army, hunting monsters just to earn enough money for food and shelter. But here, every battle is brutal, and every loss hits hard. Death isn't just a plot point, it's a devastating reality. Grimgar isn't about wish fulfillment, it's about emotional growth, teamwork, and the pain of growing up in a world that doesn't care if you make it. Visually stunning and deeply introspective, it explores the human side of isekai: fear, grief, and the bonds formed through hardship. In a genre often known for power fantasies, Grimgar quietly asks, what if getting isekai'd wasn't a gift, but a curse? What happens when the overpowered kids are the ones getting isekai'd?
Unlike most isekai, where ordinary people are thrown into extraordinary worlds, this series flips the formula. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Features 3 teenagers, each with insane powers, who are already special before getting transported. They're brought to a mysterious realm called the Little Garden, a place ruled by high-stakes games where power determines everything. The trio isn't there by accident. They're summoned to help a struggling community win its place back in this ruthless world. And let's just say the enemy has no idea what they've unleashed. This anime is fast-paced, bold, and full of chaotic fun. It mixes explosive action with clever strategies, and while it doesn't take itself too seriously, it still builds an interesting world filled with gods, demons, and mythic-level challenges. If you're tired of weak protagonists slowly climbing the power ladder, this show is the wild, no-brakes ride you didn't know you needed.
Isekai isn't just one formula. It's a whole multiverse of ideas. Whether you love power fantasies, emotional world building, or chaotic strategy games, there's something here for you. If you found a new anime to watch, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know your favorite isekai down in the comments. I'm Otaku Quickshot. See you in the next recommendation blast.